Hello, today I'm doing my April TBR. My name is Brandy, and let's get started. So, like always, I'm just going to run down my Bookopoly TBR that I've already done the rules for, but yeah, so we're just going to get into it. So, my first roll was Chance Card, and and the chance card that I selected was The White Rose by Amy Ewing. This is book 2 in the Lone City series, I believe it's called. The first book was. What was the first? The crap. I don't remember what the first book is called. But basically, this follows a young girl who is going to be a surrogate for a family, and the one rule in this dystopian society is that the surrogates are not allowed to have their own relationships, as they are strictly meant for the rich people's babies. But she obviously breaks this because it's dystopian and breaking rules. All right. So next we have Kakagori Volume 7. This is obviously number 7 in the Kakagori manga series. This is a manga. And this was for the prompt of POC rep, as all the characters are Asian or of Asian descent, or specifically Japanese. And it follows a girl named Yumiko who is very into gambling, and the school that she has transferred into is known for its gambling situation, where the student council has now overtaken the school and started a gambling addiction for the school. All right, roll number 3 was young adult, and I have chosen Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst, which is a reread for me. This is one of my favorite books of all time. I'm going to be buddy reading this with a friend of mine, and I really, really fell in love with this book the first time I read it. I read it in 2019, and it was just exactly what I was looking for. I gave it 5 stars. I'm really excited to reread it, and hopefully continue on with the series. And now we move on to roll number 4, which is first in a series. And I have Red Sister by Mark Lawrence for that. This is about a nunnery, or a convent of assassin nuns, is basically all I really know about this. And it follows a girl named Nona, I guess. I literally knew nothing about this, but Bobby at Bobby Reads really likes this, and Becca at Becca in the Books also just recently read this and really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to read this and discover what all the hype is about. All right. Roll number 5, which I rolled, is Read a Sad Book, and I've chosen The Broken Eye by Brent Weeks. This is book 3 in the Lightbringer series, which follows a young man named Gavin Guile, who is the Prism, which is someone who is able to control all the elements, or all the colors, which is the magic system of this world, where all the colors represent different types of magic and types of elemental, like, affinity for, like, person. Yeah, I don't know really how to describe this, but I'm really excited to read this. My friend got me this copy, and yeah, I have already read books 1 and 2, and I'm really hyped to continue with this series because after this I only have 2 books left. Alright, next I rolled another chance card, and that one was The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden. This is book 2 in the Bear and the Nightingale trilogy, or the Winter Night trilogy. And I don't really know how to describe this, but I'm still excited to read it regardless, because I really did like the first book. Alright, and roll number 6 was The Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. This is a Egyptian inspired fantasy about jinn and stuff. I'm really bad at describing high fantasy. Alright, next is Light Cover, which was The Song Rising by Samantha Shannon. I recently reread book 2, and I loved book 2. So I'm really, really excited to continue on and read the rest of the series, because I fell in love with this series again, like now that I've like fully reread it and grown up. Alright, next we have I forget what roll this was, but it was poll pick, which I put up a poll back in the books Discord, and the one that won was The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. All I know about this is the magic system is about consuming metals, and if you consume all the metals, you're mistborn, I guess. But I know a lot of people really love this series, and I'm hoping that I am one of them. Alright, next, which was originally going to be a different book, but I swapped it for Crescent City, which is for the challenge of, or House of Earth and Blood, which is for the challenge of first in a series. I'm going to be buddy reading this with Bobby Reads, and I am actually really excited to reread this because I didn't love it the first time, but I'm going to physically read it or read it through ebook, and I think I'm going to really enjoy it on the reread because last time I read it through audiobook. And this follows a girl named Bryce Quinlan who lives in a world of creatures. I don't want to give away too much about this one. Alright. Next is Lumberjanes, Volume 18. I'm going to be reading this in the different edition, or the different comics, because the volume isn't out yet until May, so I'm just gonna read it through the different volume, or the issues. And this is for Nature on the cover. And lastly, I have Five Dark Fates by Kendara Blake. This is for the challenge of most recent, and I just got this through my library. And this is the 4th and final book in the Three Dark Crowns series. Alright, and now I'm just going to go through the books that I'm currently reading, so I have 2. First one is Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. The dust jacket is right there, but I'm not going to put it back on. This is book 2 in the Last Hour series. And the other book that I'm currently reading is Game of Thrones. It is just Game of Thrones. This is by George R.R. Martin. I've never read this. I've never seen the show. So a lot of the stuff that's happening, I'm like, what? This is happening? Because I literally know nothing about this. I've seen the first episode, and that's it. So, and the first episode stopped around like the 100-page mark, and I'm already 200 pages in. So yeah, I literally know nothing about this. So I'm excited to experience it. So tell me what you guys are reading down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!